All right, hello everybody. I'm Richie. Joining me as always is Elgin to my left, Chantz to my right, and guys, welcome to season 2 of our sports show. So excited to be back. It was such an eventful NFL offseason. We have a stacked Week 1 schedule. The preseason's wrapping up. Before we get into these Week 1 games, is there anything from the preseason that stands out to you guys that you think is worth noting?
I would say for my team as the Patriots, we did not play Drake May as nearly enough as I wanted because Drake May I felt like he didn't get enough snaps. Bailey Zapp got majority of the snaps. Joe Milton looked better than Drake May, and people are saying that because Joe Milton played a good chunk of the game, but I really want Drake May to play a lot more in the last preseason game that we have.
I do got to say that Matt Milano out for the season again. I mean, he might have a playoff comeback again, but that just hurts to see because we already lost a lot of players on defense, but just like insult on injury, like it's just adding up.
I agree. I think that's definitely a rough loss for Buffalo's defense, but we did talk about this kind of just off record prior that they played a majority of last season without Milano, and they still had a playoff run, top 5 defense. So definitely Buffalo is still going to be a threat, and not just the AFC East. The AFC East, which should be more competitive this year if Aaron Rodgers doesn't get hurt again, knock on wood. Definitely going to be interesting to see New England. They're still just kind of in that area where it's just, even if they weren't as bad of a team as they are, even if they were mediocre, it'd still be favorites to be 4th in the division just because of how good the 3 teams ahead of them are. So we start Week 1 NFL season on Thursday night. The Ravens and the Chiefs, AFC title game rematch. KFC.
He's hungry, guys, if you don't know.
KC is the favorites to win that game. Heading in, of course, I think no-brainer. I mean, not a no-brainer. That's definitely going to be a tough game. I just don't like how Baltimore is just heading in. I think Kansas City has the momentum right now. I think it'll be close, and despite losing the Week 1 opener last year, I mean, we don't know what injuries are going to look like, but I think Kansas City should take that one.
Honestly, for this game, I don't think you both know, but the Ravens got Derrick Henry this offseason, and Lamar and Derrick Henry are going to be I know Derrick Henry is on that point of his career where he's like really old and doesn't do much, but Derrick Henry still got some of those crazy stiff arms still left in him. I think that option they're going to run is going to be absolutely fantastic. KC is favored by 3. I know they're the current Super Bowl champions. Not my favorite team right now, as Travis Kelce and his girlfriend ruining the league right now.
We don't gotta bring her up.
I know, but I would like to say that I actually have the Ravens winning this game. I don't think the Chiefs really do well in Week 1. I have the Ravens winning. I actually have the Ravens winning by 10 at least. Wow. I think the Ravens are actually gonna have really push this season. That they are really, really gonna be that Super Bowl caliber team. I have the Ravens winning 26-16.
I think it's going to be a good game. I'm sorry to cut you off real quick, but I think it's going to be a good game. But I'm really interested to see how Kansas City's offense is going to look. I mean, Xavier Worthy was, to them, kind of feels like that shouldn't have happened. We as a league should not have let that happen. It's going to be very interesting to see with Kansas City Week 1. And I think you're right, though, because they didn't look too great Week 1 of last year against Detroit. Detroit came out to be the better team that week. And, of course, they didn't have Chris Jones or Kelsey playing in that game. But still, I don't know. I think it's going to be definitely interesting to see.
You look at this team, it's going to be a great matchup. You have Patrick Mahomes already throwing behind-the-back passes in preseason. You have Lamar Jackson just won on MVP. Like, he's him. It's 2 hims facing each other. And I think the outcome of this game is going to be the other's defense. And if I look at it, I think the Ravens have a more stacked defense. So I think the Ravens are going to win it, but it's going to be by a field goal. It's not going to be by 4 touchdowns. So I'm going to go with, I think it's going to be like a 21-14 type game.
I can see that. I think both teams being heavily defensive. We saw that in the AFC title game last year. It was not a high-scoring affair when people thought it was going to be, despite the offenses being really good. Baltimore's defense is, for the longest time, always been a threat. Kansas City's offense has always been competent, especially we saw last year towards the end of the season and in that playoff run. I mean, the defense really anchored that team to me.
Couldn't agree more.
So Friday night, first time in NFL history, we're going to have back-to-back games on opening weekend. So Thursday night and then Friday night, we're going to Brazil. 2 teams that wear green, but supposedly you're not allowed to wear green in Brazil because of gang activity. very weird that they chose these two teams. But the Packers and the Eagles in Week 1. Now, this is one I'm very excited to see. Of course, we all know how Philadelphia's season ended last year. They were on that losing streak. They lost to Tampa Bay, went out sad. It was just rough end to the season last year for Green Bay, for Philadelphia, whereas Green Bay picked up the momentum towards the end of last year. People were saying the last 8 games, Jordan Love was looking like an MVP quarterback, and he got paid like one this offseason, which I don't know if he should have got paid that much. That's another discussion. But they're taking on Philadelphia. Philadelphia got so much better over the offseason, which it feels like they always do. And I think they're going to start this year off strong. I think the Eagles are just going to be a little too much for Green Bay, and I think they're going to take this one comfortably, maybe 28-17.
All right. I'm sorry. I don't mean to take your spot, but I do have to say, every season is like, oh, the Eagles get better. The Eagles get better. Do you not see what happened to their offensive line? They may have lost the best center in the league. And
All time.
Yeah, exactly. So you're looking at it. How's that going to play out? That's the biggest thing. They may have got this star running back and all that. How's the running back going to get open if they have them missing a center?
Saquon was with the Giants. I think he
Exactly.
doesn't have a problem.
So, honestly, I think the Eagles maybe have more talented players, but I feel like the Packers have more well-rounded roster overall. So I have the Packers upsetting them by like 13-10.
Low scoring again.
All right. For me, the Packers and Eagles, I don't know why they picked this team. They're both green. I don't know how this is going to be working out. But, well, I guess they'll figure it out when they get to that. But first game in Brazil, and it is a Friday night classic. And the Philadelphia's only 2.5-point favorites. And honestly, I've kind of been on the Philadelphia hype train. I liked Jalen Hurts last season. I really did. But he fell apart near the end of the season. I think they're preparing for that. I think they're preparing to not fall apart like this like last season. I believe that the Packers are actually. I have the Packers on my fraud watch list. People are hyping them up like crazy. I've seen so many takes saying that they're going to the Super Bowl. I'll be honest with you. The Packers, like they're the youngest team in the NFL, but Jordan Love played half a good season. Really a half a good season. I don't know if y'all watched him the first half. He was rough looking. He wasn't the greatest looking guy.
It was also his first season.
It was his first season. I do agree. He did, and I understand. He sat behind one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it.
Agree.
And then, but I generally, I think I have Philadelphia taking this one. I think will be a high-scoring game because Philadelphia somehow knows how to not. They have James Bradbury on the team, so that's going to be 15 missed tackles per game right there. So I believe I'm gonna take the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm gonna say 32-38 will be the score.
Okay. All right. So the Sunday game slate starts off with the Arizona Cardinals and the Buffalo Bills. Arizona is a team that I'm picking to not make the playoffs this year, but I definitely think they're going to be in that medium area because they were one of the very interesting, one of the worst teams I think we saw last year. The second Kyler came back, that offense completely switched, and they're adding, to me, one of the best wide receiver prospects that we've seen in a long time in Marvin Harrison Jr. Then again, they're playing the Bills in Week 1 in Buffalo. The Bills are going to win this game. I'm not, you guys know I'm a Dolphins fan, but Buffalo's going to take this game Week 1. And I think it's going to be a closer game than a lot of people expect. I'm expecting somewhere like 10-20, maybe 10-27. I think Buffalo did, of course, I don't know if Chantz is going to agree with this, got worse over the offseason. They traded away Diggs, which I think is a positive and a negative because Diggs was kind of bringing out more of that, dramatic factor that a lot of wide receivers tend to do nowadays, post on social media, all that stuff. I think overall they're not the same team as they were last year. I don't think they're going to be as good, but Week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals, should be a test just to show that, hey, we're still the Bills. We're still going to put up a lot of points. And I could see them putting up maybe even 35 on Arizona.
Honestly, this game is very interesting to me. I think this game is going to be really, really close. I have Kyler Murray on my MVP watch list.
Wow.
I really think Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray is the most underrated, one of the most underrated players in the league right now.
I agree with that, though.
He is.
I agree. Yeah.
When he came back, I thought he was going to be sloppy. I don't think he was going to be great, and he looked really well in a team that was not that great on paper. But I'll be honest with you, I agree with that take. You said best worst team I've ever. Like they played pretty darn good football most of the time. I don't think they got blown. I think they got blown out maybe one or twice.
Yeah, they got
But
shut out by Cleveland and a couple other tough teams they lost to. But
Yeah, honestly, they didn't look too shabby. They didn't look too bad. I genuinely you know what, I'm gonna say right now that I'm gonna take Buffalo on this. I do agree, but I don't think this game is gonna be high scoring. I think this game is gonna be really, really down to a field goal. Let's hope Tyler Bass doesn't screw that up again.
let's see, Chance, what's your take?
All right. I mean, I wouldn't definitely disagree with you because I've been telling everyone, and I know this is probably the biggest take like ever. I think that what we did was the smartest thing ever because you have to get rid of your old players at some time. You just have to. At some point, they either retire, you got to trade them or release them. We got rid of a diva and Stephon Diggs, which he was missing catch it. He missed a wide open Stephon Diggs against the Chiefs. He missed a wide open catch. It was like a 50-yard catch. He catches that, we win the game. I mean, yes, there's a Tyler Bass miss, yada yada. We also got rid of Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. We lost a lot of pieces. But we also got younger pieces like Keon Coleman. We don't know what he looks like. And we have more well-rounded depth rather than just one star at each position, if that makes sense. So obviously I'm going to take the Bills. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game just because it's, our defense isn't there yet. We're going to have to find ourselves. But it's going to be like a 2-touchdown difference between the winner, and I think we're winning.
A thing on the Bills side, I would not be shocked if they do get upset this game, by the way. I would not be shocked. Week 1, teams tend to get upset quickly.
Yeah.
Like, for example, this upcoming game, actually.
That's not going to be an upset. Don't even play it because the Patriots play the Bengals. They're not upsetting the Bengals. Don't want to cut you off, but no, because we're probably going to see a Jacoby Brissett football game. I don't know if they're going to throw Drake May out there. And even if they do, this is not the team that you're going to have a great rookie debut against. In Cincinnati, the Bengals, yes, they missed the playoffs last year, but they're getting Joe Burrow back. They're going to be a threat. Cincinnati, I think, everybody's favorite if you look at teams who missed the playoffs last year to come back and win it. I think they're even going to win their division, which is going to be tough, but I think they have the potential to do it. And it's going to start off against the Patriots, who just aren't built yet. They just traded away Matt Judon, their best player. This one might be really bad. This one, I think it's going to be, 35-10 area, 35-6 maybe.
Okay, I'm just going to say quickly, it's going to be like a 45-3 type game. I mean, if Jacoby Brissett's playing, they're not putting up points. That's just my prediction. The Bengals are it's just going to be sad.
Here at Elgin.
Guys, what are you? Come on, we're the New England Patriots, 6-time Super Bowl champs.
Nobody from that
He
team
needs
is
his
here
nap.
now. Nobody is there.
I like being the underdog anyway. I know we have
How'd
the.
it go for you last year? How was wearing that Dolphins hat last year? How'd it go for you being the underdog?
Anyway, the Bengals for me. Listen. They always start 0-2 every single season. I don't care who you are. This team always starts 0-2.
They played Cleveland and another tough team right off the bat last year. They're starting with the New England Patriots.
The easiest team to face ever.
Ever. Hold on, guys. No, let's not. Okay, trading away Matthew Judon for a bag of chips. Yes, that was terrible. But wait, the guy needed to be paid. If you look on the bright side, the guy needed to be paid. He was going to ask for a mega deal. So, and he's like 31, 32.
Who else are you guys playing?
I'm not delusional, okay, guys? We still have a great defense. We may have lost the best.
What's the prediction? What do you think the final score is going to be?
I do think the Bengals are going to win this game, to be honest with you. I have the game ending like 15-28. That's my prediction for it.
And that's not enough points for the Bengals.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, New England's defense wasn't atrocious last year. They
Top 5, actually. Top 5 unit last year.
That doesn't seem right, but
That makes me want to cry.
All right, up next we have the Vikings and the Giants. The Minnesota Vikings are going out there led by Sam Darnold, which is going to be interesting. But they also have Justin Jefferson coming back fully healthy, and they're taking on the New York Giants, where this is a team with a lot of questions around it at the quarterback position. We were kind of talking about, even before the show started, Daniel Jones' contract, and I just don't think that he's the guy for them. I don't agree with new age NFL where you get rid of a quarterback after 2-3 years and no production. But with the Giants, they're kind of hanging on to a guy who showed you a little bit. Like, I respect them hanging on to this guy. They drafted him in 2019, but still, I think this is going to be the final Daniel Jones week 1 as a New York Giant, and I don't think it's going to go that well for him. I think this is going to be a really close game. I like New York's defense a little bit. I like Sexy Dexy. I like the line they have over there. But I just think the Minnesota Vikings are going to be a little bit too much powerful, and I think it's going to be 16-13 Minnesota.
I'll be honest with you. These two teams are significantly very mid. Sam Darnold, I don't care what you say about Sam Darnold. So the Vikings said that he has untapped potential. He turned 30 this year. Sam Darnold, yeah, we're getting to the age where Sam Darnold's turning 30 right now.
I feel old. I remember when he got drafted.
Yeah, I remember when he got drafted. I remember
He
the
got
ghost.
drafted in the same draft Josh Allen did.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's only 27.
Yeah,
28.
Sam Darnold.
Josh Rosen draft.
Yep.
Was that the Mayfield? And
Yep.
dang, that was could have been a stacked quarterback class if everyone kept up with themselves.
Yeah.
Let's keep on.
But but I'll be honest with you. I don't know. This game is on Vegas has it as an even game. I agree. I do agree with that. But I'll be honest with you. I'm going to take the Vikings. I think Sam Darnold, the Justin Jefferson is just going to have to pick this team up and carry it along with him. And I believe the Vikings got Dallas Turner in the draft.
Yeah.
And
I think the Vikings had a really good draft.
I really do. They also got Jared Verse. I think the Vikings did have they bolstered up the D line.
First they went to the Rams.
Jared Verse. Oh yeah, sorry y'all. Jared Verse went to the Rams. I forgot I'm referring to my.
Snap.
It's all good. Not yet.
Not yet.
We survived the Patriots rant without it getting too wicked.
Okay, but I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna take I'm going to probably take the Vikings in this one. I'm going to take them by only a point, though. I think the Giants are going to screw up something.
So I look at this team, again, about the conversation. I don't think this is Daniel Jones' last season. If you're the Giants,
Oh, brother.
you just paid this guy that much money. Why release him? Why not see what he has? If that's the best. Who's coming up in this draft? Who you think with the amount of wins that they're gonna get, who you think they could get? That's gonna be
Quentin Ewers.
That's gonna be
not
better.
gonna win that many games this year.
I think they're gonna win 5-6.
I think they're gonna understand Daniel Jones isn't the guy. They might sit him. I don't. Wait, they also had they got Drew Lock this year.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna play some significant snaps.
I
this year.
disagree.
Absolutely.
I don't like Daniel
But
Jones' health.
Let me. I'll talk about the actual game now. I think the Vikings. Sam Darnold, for some reason, the first 4 games of the season, he just looks amazing. It happened last season, too. He just started, and you're like, whoa, what is this Sam Darnold type of guy? So, with that and Justin Jefferson, I think they're just going to win. I think it's going to be like a six-point game. It's going to be like 2 field goals or whatever, like difference. And so I'm going to have like I don't even know, a 9-3 game. It's going to be a crazy type game, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think Jefferson hits the end zone maybe at least once. But that's the thing. Sam Darnold's coming from the Shanahan offense, which I think that could really mold and change a quarterback, whether you get a coach from there or a player from that Shanahan offense.
That's
Shanahan,
true.
He turns guys who aren't necessarily good, maybe not great quarterbacks, and make them look competent. I'm still not too
Trey
sold
Lance?
on Brock Purdy. Wasn't sold on Jimmy Garoppolo, and he made Jimmy Garoppolo look really good under that offense. So who knows what Sam Darnold can learn from that and take in, because now he's playing with top 2 receiver in football.
Yeah.
By the way, I do predict Sam Darnold will have that Linsanity run he always has when he starts week 1.
That's what I'm
3-0.
saying.
I think so. I think he's going to have a couple good games. People are like, oh my goodness, Sam Darnold, Vikings to the bowl, and then they're going to lose like 6 games in a row.
Yeah.
All right, up next we have a debut of one of the most hyped quarterback prospects I think we've had since Trevor Lawrence. I think even more than Trevor Lawrence. With the Titans taking on the Bears in Chicago week 1. Guys, I'm sold. Even though it was the preseason, I'm sold on Caleb. Bear Claw, I think he's a really talented quarterback. And he gets a chance to start his career against a weird defense in Tennessee. I think Tennessee, their offense is going to be good with Calvin Ridley, and I really believe in Will Levis as well. And this one was kind of tough to predict, but I just really like what Chicago's offense looks like right now. I think they revamped the line a little bit. They got some really good weapons. So there aren't really any excuses for Caleb Williams other than the fact that he's a rookie. So I don't think he's going to turn heads right away in his week 1 game. I think he might have 200 yards, a touchdown, maybe a turnover. But I think Chicago's going to hold on. I think they're going to win. I think it's going to be a close one, 20-13. Give me the Bears. I think Caleb Williams is going to look solid.
Actually, for me, the Bears have been one of my interesting teams. I actually have them making the wild card at 9-8 or 10 and 7. But all the questions point to, they have a team. The team they have on paper is really good. All the fingers are pointing at Caleb Williams. All the season really depends on how he produces. They gave him an incredible wide receiver, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. They drafted a guy, I believe.
Odunze, yeah.
They
Good
drafted
pick.
Romeo
First round
Odunze.
pick.
Three potential wide receiver ones in that room.
Yeah.
Actually, two of them are already solidified receiver ones. So
And
I'll
they
be
have Cole Kmet, who's a sneaky underrated good tight end.
Cole Kmet. Yes,
I think he's top 5 in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I
And-
definitely see that.
And then I believe they have a decent running back. They got DeAndre Swift. They
Yeah.
got a decent running back.
Yeah.
So and that defense got bolstered up too. I believe I don't know who they got, but I remember they definitely did some work on the defense. I can't remember what they did, but I believe Caleb Williams. I'm agreeing with Richie here. I think Caleb Williams is not going to turn heads immediately, but I believe that they will beat the Titans. The Titans are one of those weird teams. Actually, I don't know where they're at. I think they're one of those middle range teams. I like
Yeah.
Will Levis, but on the roster on paper, there's like the highs are highs and the lows are lows on the Titans. I'll be honest with you.
So, what I think, the Titans, they have Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins. So, I could see the
Hopkins will be out
offense.
for the first 4
I
games,
seen
I
that,
believe.
but I could see their offense producing a lot and their defense being mid. But to go back, the Bills are the only team that, in our division that played Caleb Williams, and I actually got to see, what I feel like is a great look. And as every great quarterback that as of right now, their first couple games are shaky. They have good plays, they have terrible plays. You can say that for every quarterback, but some quarterbacks just go out to shine. So, I think that with that being said, I think Caleb Williams is going to be as high as Patrick Mahomes, give him 2 seasons, and that's crazy to say, but what I seen him do and the confidence I seen from him facing our number 1 defense at times just shows you how instinctly number 1 pick he should have been. So I have the Chicago Bears winning by 14 points at least. I have a 21-7 type game, and that's just how I feel.
I could definitely see that.
Oh, and the Titans are under a new head coach. They fired Mike Vrabel. Shockingly, I actually thought Mike Vrabel was one of the better coaches in the league. He is now I think he is a personal trainer for the Browns now, which is quite a significant. Someone needs to study that guy's downfall. I'm really sorry for Mike Vrabel. I really like him. But, I really think the Titans are going to be one of those teams that no one really knows where they're at right now. So they're going to be a team definitely to watch. I don't think they're playoff ready. They got some things to do, but
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with our prompters, kind of going all over the place. But the next game up was going to be the Dolphins and the Jaguars. This game is going to be in Miami. The Dolphins, of course, coming off that kind of late season collapse that they had last year, lost in Kansas City. Before that, lost to Buffalo on Sunday night. You guys aren't winning the division. So the Dolphins, I think they're revamped a little bit. We're not going to see that wide receiver 3 OBJ week 1. But I think that's an interesting position. I think Tua's going to look really good in week 1 like he did last year. And Jacksonville's got a solid defense, but they had that late season collapse last year. I'm interested to see what Miami's D-line is going to look like without Christian Wilkins. But we did add Fuller at DB. So I like the Dolphins overall. It's just, can they put those pieces together? Week 1, the defense does tend to struggle just a little bit, but I think they'll be able to take care of business. Home game against Jacksonville. I got the Dolphins winning it 27-13.
I'll be honest with you. This is one of the games that I wasn't really sure who could win. I think both teams are at quarterback level quite not. People think they're not close together, but I think they're very close. Tua and Trevor Lawrence. I don't know what this guy I think he thinks Trevor Lawrence is worse than Daniel Jones.
Whoa, I never said
Yeah,
worse.
but
I said
I think
good.
Tua and Trevor Lawrence play very differently, but in skill level wise, I think they're pretty close. People like to say, but honestly, I could see this game going both ways. I could see Jacksonville blowing out Miami. I could see Miami blowing out Jacksonville. I could see it being a close game. It's one of those games where it could go anywhere. But I just think Miami's just has that amazing 1-2 punch at wide receiver with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle is one of the fastest guys in the league, and then you got the fastest guy in the league, Tyreek Hill. It must be a laid back job for Tua to say, screw it, Tyreek Hill's out there somewhere, and just throw it up.
All right. I'll just go back to what
Get bad.
So, I mean, go back to, sorry, this is going to be short, the Trevor Lawrence thing. I think, yes, they had a run, so did Daniel Jones. They had a pretty good run. So, like I was saying, I think they're just as competent. I need to see more. That's my opinion. But with the Dolphins always look good at the beginning of the season. I'm going to give it to them, even though Gabe Davis is at Jacksonville. He's on Jacksonville now. But I'll still say the Dolphins. I'm going to be fair. They always look good at the beginning of the season, but it's going to be a little late fall collapse for them.
I don't know. I mean, the Dolphins' end-of-season schedule is rough, but we're not there yet. We're in week 1, and this is usually where Tua throws 400 yards. I was like, oh, my goodness, he's going to be the MVP this year. Yeah, but it's going to be interesting. So our prompter is being really weird.
I don't remember the Seahawks games. I don't remember the Seahawks game, but we can do the Raiders and Chargers game.
Yeah, so the Raiders are taking on the Chargers in week 1. Interesting. Chargers, brand new head coach, Jim Harbaugh. Thing is, who is Justin Herbert going to throw the football to?
Quentin Johnson, baby.
I'm not really confident in that. I like the Raiders' defense a lot. I'm very interested in what their offense is going to look like. I think Gardner Minshew is definitely a step up from quarterback they had last year.
Aiden O'Connell. Camp said otherwise, apparently.
Yeah, well, they named Minshew the starter, I believe, 2 days ago. So I think this is one is actually going to belong to the Raiders. The Raiders always look good in week 1, too. And when you beat a team, they beat them 63-7 last year. Like, you're going to have some sort of confidence going in there against them. I really like the Raiders head coach, Antonio Pierce. He's one of my favorite just guys in the league. He reminds me a little bit of Campbell, not like just how their players respect them so much. Kind of like how Mike McDaniel with Miami, but I think he gets better play out of his guys. And the Raiders, they've always been that team that plays with grit. And I think they're going to take out the Chargers in week 1.
Actually, speaking of the Raiders actually have probably one of the best D-lines in the league with Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby. I don't know if y'all know, but Max Crosby has to sit out during practice for the Raiders to run offense. So
yeah,
Max Crosby, I believe, is going to win defense. He's my Defensive Player of the Year pick. And I'll be honest with you, I love Matt Crosby. And Christian Wilkins is a great nose tackle, great D tackle. I believe the Raiders are going to put on a defensive class on this Chargers unit. Jim Harbaugh is a very run-heavy type of guy. So for uncolleged people, Jim Harbaugh used to be the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, who recently won the Natty.
Before that, he was the head coach of the 49ers.
He was the head coach of the 49ers, and he took the Niners to a Super Bowl against his brother, which, honestly, I don't think that's going to happen again. I don't think Jim and John Harbaugh are going to see each other again in the Super Bowl, but I really like the Raiders.
AFC teams.
Yeah, there's
maybe AFC Championship.
I don't think the Chargers are going to make it that far.
No,
yeah.
Me neither.
I'll be honest with you, I like the Raiders in this game. Gardner Minshew is that quarterback that, like, he's really strange. But when he started out, after his first 2 seasons, I was really high on Gardner Minshew. I really thought he could be a franchise guy for somebody. I know. That's changed a little bit, but Gardner Minshew, I still think, is one of those, like, above serviceable quarterbacks. I don't know about how much they paid him, though. I don't know about that contract they gave him, but I really like Gardner Minshew. I believe Gardner Minshew is going to put on a decent class. Devontae Adams is still there, and Devontae Adams, I don't know if you saw Wide Receiver on Netflix, he definitely expressed his unlikeness of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But
let's see what you got for this game real quick. We're running
I don't even know. This is just a crazy game. I mean, yeah, Devontae Adams, he's him. Gardner Minshew, I mean, I don't know why he hates Jimmy G so much. I really don't.
Because Jimmy G can't throw him the football.
That's fair, I guess. I mean, but the one time he did get clobbered, so I can understand that. I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be like one of those games where it's going to come down to the last drive. I really don't know who I have winning it. I can't even decide. It's 50-50 for me. All
right, so we're running low on time. The one game I want to hit, let's just all go. Who do we think is going to win? 49ers, Jets, Monday Night Football.
Niner, bang, bang, 49er game.
Jets.
I think the Niners are going to win. I think the Jets aren't going to look that good. Well, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for joining us for Season 2. We still have so many episodes coming this year. Elgin's the mastermind. He's got a lot of good ideas coming up for you guys. Can't wait to see you guys next week before we get started for Week 1 of the season.
See you later, guys.
All right, guys. See ya.
Sucks.